So here's going to be a little comparison between a Revo 2.5r and a Tmaxx 2.5. So I'm going to start off by saying that both of these trucks are used in basically the same way. Both are driven on the same improvised track. Both are treated the same way, so in terms of durability, they've both been abused and driven essentially the same way. Alright, I'm going to start off with engines. Both of these have the Tmaxx 2.5 small block nitro engine. Tmaxx is just the standard 2.5 with the silver head, whereas this Revo, like I said, is a 2.5r, so it has the blue head. They're about the same power. The Revo probably has a little more pep. I believe the older 2.5r does have a little more power than the standard 2.5, but now I believe the 2.5r is the same exact engine. In terms of speed of these two trucks, top speed, I'd like to say that the Tmaxx is probably a little faster, and that's probably due to the slight on these tires. The Tmaxxes are slightly taller. The Revo definitely gets up to speed more quickly because I have these lightweight truggy tires on, so there's not a lot of rotational mass that needs to get moving. They're very comparable, though. There's no huge difference in straight line speed. The Tmaxx, if properly tuned, will wheelie. The Revo will not. A little more even weight distribution on the Revo. As far as handling goes, the Revo definitely handles a lot better. It's lower slung. It's got the better suspension layout for going around a track, whereas it's lay down shocks. The whole truck has a lower center of gravity compared to the Tmaxx, which is just kind of higher up. Especially with these truggy tires, it does handle around a track much better. But with the stock tires, I have them right here, it handles a little worse than the truggy tires, obviously, but it's still definitely a lot better than the Tmaxx. The Tmaxx is a lot more rolly in the corners, a lot more monster truck-ish, as where the Revo is more truggy-ish and a little more planted. As far as durability goes, it's a little tricky since I haven't actually broken anything on either of these trucks. I have worn out these Revo steering knuckles here, are worn out and they're very loose, so if I do hit a tree or any stationary object, this will pop off the pillow balls. But I wouldn't consider that broken. I just pop it back in this good until I hit something again, so those will need to be replaced soon, but it's not what I would consider a broken part. And as far as the Tmaxx goes, it has no issues so far. But if I was going to say in general, durability would definitely have to go to the Revo. Just due to I have a e-Revo and I've had E-Maxes before, and considering they're essentially the same chassis with the same weak points, the Revo platform will definitely be more durable in the long run. The Tmaxx actually could really go with, I got another Tmaxx over here, at least aluminum skid plates would be a really good start. RPM now makes bulkheads for these trucks, which are another main weak point. It's kind of hidden in there, but bulkheads, skid plates, shock towers, control arms, pretty much the whole suspension on these trucks is pretty weak. The Tmaxx has the aluminum chassis over the E-Max's plastic, so that removes one point of breakage, but the Revo is very durable stock, aside from those knuckles, which I'm going to replace, but with my e-Revo I'm still on the stock knuckles and I don't have any issues with those. So I'd say for hardcore bashing, the Revo is definitely going to stand up to the abuse better. The Tmaxx you can hop up to survive really well, but it's going to take some work and some money. Now for ease of working on them, the Tmaxx is a lot easier to work on. As you can see, it's just a flat pan chassis. Everything is kind of just on top of a flat piece of aluminum. Especially pulling the engine or changing the exhaust, everything's right out in the open. It's all very easy to get at. The underside of the chassis is kind of the same way. Everything is right out in the open, pretty much hugging that aluminum plate in the middle. Whereas the Revo, everything's a lot more kind of buried. The chassis has some bends in it, which allows them to mount these servos kind of sideways, but that kind of helps cram everything in. So especially the engine on this thing. I've taken this engine out a few times. When I bought this Revo, the engine was seized. I've had to take it out a few times to do some work, and it's kind of tricky to get it out. Same thing with the exhaust. It's not, the exhaust isn't bad at all, but you know, it is a little more complicated than the Tmaxx. The good thing about the Revo though is you'll probably be working on it a little less in general, but the Tmaxx is definitely a lot easier to work on, do engine swaps, that sort of thing, minor troubleshooting, major repairs, all that. Another thing to note is the Revo comes with a receiver pack. It's behind this slotted piece of plastic there. Comes with a rechargeable receiver pack like this one right here. Whereas the Tmaxx, I don't know if the newer ones, the newer 2.5 classic Tmaxxes come with a rechargeable receiver pack. But generally, if you do what I did, is buy this one used on Craigslist, it will not. It comes with a little 4 alkaline AA just battery holder in there. I've replaced it with a rechargeable hump pack, which is a lot better, a lot more reliable. But that's just one thing to know if you're looking for these on Craigslist. A lot of the times the older Tmaxxes will just have AA holders, which aren't very good. So in conclusion, if you're wondering which one to buy, I'd say honestly, if you have the money, I'd get both. They're both really different driving experiences. They both have they both have their cool parts. I really like how the Tmaxx is really easy to work on. There's a lot of part support for it. But I do like how the Revo definitely handles better, and it's a little more truggy-ish. So they're both definitely worth owning. I wouldn't really want to pick one over the other. But if I absolutely had to, I would say that the Revo is probably better if you're only going to own one, just because it's more durable and it handles better. It just does a lot of things better. But if I would definitely try to own both, since they're both really cool trucks. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, post them in the comments below. I'm probably going to try to have a short actual running comparison of these two vehicles just to show you guys the speed difference and handling. But until then, thanks for watching.